Morning everybody on BrewTube. It's Jim here from Jim's Brew. Today I'm going to be brewing a second version of my double IPA that I put a video up for probably, I don't know, 8 weeks or so ago. This is going to be hoppier, this is going to be stronger, this is going to be using more grain, and just everything about it is built upon some new kit that I've got and some experience that I've gained and some more videos that I've watched and all the advice from you lot. Now I want to make it clear, this is how I'm doing it. This is by no way the professional way or the exact way. It's just how I've been brewing beer and really enjoying it. So first thing I'm going to do is give you a rundown of the ingredients that we're going to be using. Okay, so this is the stack of goodies that we've got to be using today. First up, all of this is purchased from the malt miller in Swindon. Awesome guys over there. Rob, the owner, is an absolute legend. Always good to go in and have a chat with. I'm just going to talk you through what we've got here. So we have got 4 kilos of grains which we're going to be using with our bag, and in here there is 2.5 kilos, well 2.4 kilos of Pilsner malt, 800 grams of pale wheat malt, 650 grams of flaked oats, malted flaked oats, and 150 grams of oat husks. And then to just build it up, because it should be about 5 kilos if you were going to do this as an all grain kit, we've also got 1.5 kilos of light malt extract. And then just to bump the ABV a little bit, we're going to be using 1/2 kilo of the brewing sugar here. I'm going to keep the other half for priming and that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's the fermentables that are going to be going in, and then the good stuff. So we have got 120 grams of Citra, 120 grams of Simcoe, and then 60 grams of Amarillo. So we're going for a 3 hop variety this time. Last time I only used Citra and then some Centennial as well, but it was all about the Citra. I'm going to be doing a mixture of some additions into the boil for bittering, because that's one thing that I want to try and get more of, a bit more bittering in this. And then the rest are going to be dry hopped over the course of the next week or so. Now, one of the new bits of kit I've got is a big burner and a reasonably large kettle. The kettle is about a 20 litre kettle. At the moment I've got 12 litres of striped water heating up in there. I'm going to aim to get that to about 76 degrees, and then we'll put the bag in and then we'll start mashing in. So I'm just going to give you a rundown now of the actual hop additions and the order they're going to be going in, and then I forgot to mention the yeast I'm going to be using as well, so just give me a moment and I'll talk you through those. Okay, so in terms of the additions, the hop additions for the boil, in the order they're going to be going is red, pink, blue. And in the red corner we have Simcoe. There is 20 grams of those, they're going to be going in straight away. Then we've got Citra pellets going to be going in, another 20 grams, they're going to be going in at 30 minutes. And then we've got 60 grams of Amarillo going to be going in at flame out. Now, they're the hops that are going to be going into the wort straight away. And then in terms of dry hop, we're going to be adding another 100 grams of Simcoe and another 100 grams of Citra at I think 4 days in and then 6 days in. And then the yeast I'm going to be using, again, it's one of the malt miller's own. It's a dried yeast. It's the classic English ale yeast. So we're now at our mash temperature. I've got it up to 74 degrees. I've got my camera at a good angle so you can see the next steps as well. So the first thing we need to do is put our grain bag in. I'll turn the heat off at this point as well. Just give that a little push down. And then we're going to add in all of this. So here's my epic fail. I completely stopped recording when I should have started. Didn't realise it was recording, so you're going to miss the whole bit where I mash in. Apologies everyone. So we've added all our grains. We're giving it a nice stir to make sure there's no dough balls in there. And it's important to mention, I think, that the Malt Miller as a website and as a homebrew store are really good, because you can get your grains pre-crushed from them, which for me is great, because you know, I don't really want to be investing in that grain crusher myself just yet. That might come later, but for now it's just all about getting good quality grains from a decent source. Now I just want to make sure there's no mushy horrible dough balls in here, which it looks like we're all good. We're going to cover this up and start the 60-minute mash. Okay guys, so the hour is up now and I've heated up another 5 litres of water to do our sparge. Now I'm going to be doing this pretty controversially. Don't worry about the smoke that you can see over there. I've got a barbecue on the go as well. I'm going to be submerging my grain bag into this water, so yeah, watch this space. But as I said, this is a bit controversial, maybe not the most professional method, but hey, I'm going to give it a go. So here we go. Like I said, we've got about another 10 litres here of water that I've heated to around about 70 degrees. Just going to chuck this in here. And now, actually, a bit less than that, 5 litres, we're going to get our grain bag from here, and we're going to carefully gather up all the edges, give it a little bit of a twist, let it drain off. So I've sped this bit right up because you don't want to see me just stood there for about 5 minutes with a grain bag sloshing around, but in essence all I'm doing is submerging this, rolling the grain around, and really trying to lift it and rinse off as much of the sugars as I can. Like I said, this is a little bit more controversial. You know, it's not like sparging with a sparge arm, or you know, lifting the grain bag out and rinsing it. I'm not sure whether it makes a massive difference or not. If anybody could let me know, or anybody's got any advice, that'd be great. But it seemed to work out alright on the day. Okay, so as you can see, we've managed to collect a good 6 litres of extra liquor there, or wort, which we're now going to add back in to our main kettle. And this is going to form our main bulk of our brew. So there we go. Now we can see we've got about 15 litres in total of our wort. The heat's back on, we're going to bring that up to the boil and then we'll start adding our hops. So now a nice steady rolling boil. Apologies, you missed out on me putting the first hop addition in because the battery went on my phone. Anyway, we've added in 20 grams of Simcoe already. As you can see, it's all bubbling away nicely. I'll be back in a little bit to add in the next lot. Okay, so this has been on the boil for half an hour now. We're going to add our second hop addition, which is Citra. We've got another 20 grams of Citra pellets to go in. Make sure we do this a little bit at a time. Give it a good stir. another 15 minutes to add the wort chiller in to sanitise it. So we're 45 minutes into the boil now. We're going to be adding in the wort chiller. Now this is my latest contraption, homemade wort chiller. So we're going to pop that in, and that's going to go in there for a good 15 minutes just to sanitise it. And we'll be back shortly to add in the last hop addition and start to cool this down. Right, so we are about to go flame out and add our 60 grams of Amarillo. Give that a good chuck in. Give it a good stir up. The smell coming off of this now is amazing. Right. And now for the inaugural wort chiller run. I've tested this and it was leak free when I tested it. Let's now see how we get on. Right, we've got no leaks and we have hot water coming out of there. Awesome. See how long this takes to cool down. Cool, so we've managed to cool the wort right down, and in a sanitised bucket or fermenter, the first thing we're going to add is our liquid malt extract. Now this has been in some warm water just to loosen it up for an hour or so, but to get the last of it out, we always resort to the kettle. Good pint or so of really hot water. Give it a good shake just to dissolve off the last of that amazing liquid malt extract. And we add that in as well. And that helps just loosen up everything else. Now, we can add our wort. We've just boiled for an hour and cooled down. Wish me luck. Get all of those hops in there. And we've ended up with just shy of 12 litres, which is pretty good. Now, I'm going to mix up that liquid malt extract that's undoubtedly stuck to the bottom. You don't need to worry too much about it. The yeast will get to it at some point and give it a good old churn up. And then the other thing we're going to add at this point is half a kilo of our brewing sugar. Now, I put all of the measurements for this into Brewer's Friend, and it said that 500 grams of this would be plenty. So I'm just going to eyeball it, I'm not going to worry too much about the specific measurements. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to keep the rest of that for priming. Give that a good old stir up, and then we're going to top it up to 25 litres of cold water. You've all seen that happen a million times, so I'm not going to bore you with that. Once that's done, put the old airlock in, pitch the yeast, Job's a good one. Anyway, I'll come back in a few weeks once it's fermented. I'll give you some updates with the cold hop, the dry hop, and see where we go. So the yeast has been pitched overnight, and literally 12 hours later, this is what we were getting. Super speedy bubbling. Anyway, I'll catch you all on the flip side with an update in a couple of weeks.